Bigger is always better, right? Well, this week on At Your Leisure, we're testing that theory as we discover how amazing little can be. I'm Corinne Smart.
And I'm Stephen Human. We're in Duchesne County, Utah, finding out how you can visit some of the most iconic destinations in the West, but they're all within a half hour of one rural town.
Then join me, Zach Cipriano, as I jump across the Pacific Ocean for an ATV adventure that's part jungle, part lava field.
Lastly, Reese Stein discovers international peace in the heart of the West. AYL starts now.
Out west, we have a lot of big attractions. You have places like the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone National Park, Lake Powell, each bringing with it views and experiences every bit as large and memorable as they are. But these big destinations also bring with them crowds, long drives, and the notoriety that sometimes sucks any mystery from the experience. So how do you combat these issues? Well, maybe instead of going somewhere big, you need to try something little.
And this is why we're in Duchesne County visiting the Littles, Little Grand Canyon, Little Lake Powell, and our first stop, Little Yellowstone.
What's really cool about the Duchesne County is the fact that we have everything kind of miniaturized. We have Yellowstone Canyon, which we're here first at today. We have a little Grand Canyon, which we're going to look at later today. We have a little Lake Powell. We just got all sorts of stuff out here in the basin that is just unbelievable and you can get to so quickly. Little Yellowstone here is called Yellowstone because of this big yellow formation. We don't have geysers, but we have ATVs, which you can in Yellowstone Park. There's a river drainage that is phenomenal fishery. Love to fish the Yellowstone River. It's like a little miniature Snake River. I mean, it's so much in similarity to Yellowstone Park. The pines, the aspens, wide open meadows up higher. It's just a great place to be.
I wonder why they call it Little Yellowstone.
I think we're about to find out. Oh my goodness.
My.
All right, well
That's cool.
that's why it's called Little Yellowstone. Let's take a look at this.
I feel like I'm a kid stuck in a Western movie.
Oh, like the old times where they would come upon, because this is what Wyoming looked like.
Yeah.
That's what they thought.
Yellowstone.
It is Yellowstone. I mean, literally, it is literally Yellowstone. So,
What is it?
just a massive drop off. Yeah, it's just a big drop off.
From Duchesne, you're going to come north to, like you're going to Altamont or Moon Lake, and you follow that up and you'll see a sign to turn off to Yellowstone. Make that turn and you come right to our trailhead. Well, I've been to a lot of the big parks, been to Yellowstone, been to the Grand Canyon, been to Zion, and they're huge excursions. You take full days, full 2-3 days to go do something. Here, where we're here at Yellowstone today, we're 45 minutes from home. And I can get up here and hike around and do everything and be back in my bed and sleep comfortably. And the next day, I'm at the Grand Canyon. It's just so incredible to have such a unique experience so close to home.
All right, well, that's the first of our littles. We have 2 more coming at you later in the show, but right now we got to catch up with Zach.
He's ATVing in Hawaii.
Ranch life isn't something wholly unfamiliar to us in the West, especially in Utah. We have dozens of rodeos every year, horses run in the plains, and cows all over the dang place. I was not expecting, however, to run into this aesthetic while exploring the big island of Hawaii. But that classic ranching adventure is exactly what we got to do, thanks to Ho'omau Ranch.
Here at the ranch we have 1,600 acres. It's a very diverse piece of property. We've gone from open pastures all the way to right here in the Ohia Forest. It was a working ranch from the 1950s and it was used for many purposes. Sandalwood was grown here. There was a lot of koa that was grown here. We have the sugi pines that was grown here. We also was well known for the Black Angus cattle. We offer horseback tours, horseback rides, ATV rides, UTV rides. We also have vacation stay here at the ranch.
Ho'omau Ranch is just very beautiful. It's nothing like I've seen before. We love living here. There's so much land and It's just very diverse. We are home to the native endemic indigenous palm species, Lo'ulu, which is one of the rarest palm species in the world. You don't find too many places like Ho'omau Ranch, especially on the south side of the island. We are one of the only outfits on the south side of the island. This is probably one of the most unique places and adventures you'll experience here in Hawaii.
Do you like Hawaii so far?
We came to the ranch with a big group, all with different interests, and somehow Ho'omau Ranch was able to satisfy every single one of them. From the equestrian activities,
we're gonna ride horses, and I'm so excited,
to seeing the day-to-day of a working cattle ranch.
We just move the cattle from one paddock to the next, just so that they have fresh grass.
Out of all the 150 head out there, which one's your favorite?
All of them. They all taste the same.
What you call duck herding. Martine just caught one.
Ooh, that's pretty soft.
What you got there?
A duck.
And that wasn't the end of our animal adventures.
Well, we have Black Angus cattle. We have horses for our horseback riding tours. We have goats, dogs, and chickens. We have a tortoise.
Whoa! It's like, I'm lifting a tortoise.
I feel way strong. Do you feel strong, Squirt?
But with so much acreage to explore, we left the critters behind, mounted our machines, and headed out into the forest on the property.
Well, the ride in the beginning is more of open pastures and a smoother road, and as you come up higher in the elevation, you'll notice that the scenery changes from an open pasture to a more covered, thicker forest, and then up into an open ohia and hapu'u fern forest.
I mean, none of it is real aggressive or bumpy. It's pretty smooth riding, and it's just beautiful everywhere. Beautiful.
That's going in. So Aki just told us that this right here was a lava flow that came through here in 1926. That's pretty recent.
I feel like this is the most relaxing ATV ride I've ever been on. Something about the island.
We have behind me the Lo'olu palm. It's an endangered palm only found here at Ho'omau Ranch. We try to grow it in different parts of the U.S., but it only tends to just flourish here at Ho'omau.
The coolness of the forest, the vivid colors of each individual plant, the aroma of fresh island air, and the taste of local fruit. This land was a treat for all of our senses, especially when we turned off the machines, made our way off the path, and just listened. Listen to the song of the island.
I love being here, period. I love the weather, the air, the peace and quiet, the fact that we get to enjoy nature and be outdoors. It's just a very, very special piece of property.
When I look at the other people, I think of my first reaction when I first came through here, and I see a lot of common similarities of the wows and the, oh, look at this and stuff like that. So it makes me smile when I get to see them smile.
Booking a tour with Ho'omau Ranch is easy and can be done on their website. It's an experience the entire family can enjoy and will never forget. Once again, mahalo Hawaii. More at your leisure after the break.
In a place that is beyond words, there is nothing to be said, except take your time in Bryce Canyon country.
Living in Utah, we're lucky we can enjoy riding our recreational vehicles year-round in the mountains, at the dunes, rock crawling, or road riding. Stedman's Recreation has Utah's largest selection of Honda, Polaris, Yamaha, and Beta machines. See them all at Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. Need a tune-up, new tires, or accessories? Stedman's Service Department can help.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
Too often we find ourselves in shoes like these, or these. Wouldn't it be nice to change into something more like this, or this? How about these? Put on whatever shoes you prefer and come to Beaver County. we have exactly the adventure you need to put under them. So the next time you want to change out of these, come to Beaver County where you can jump into a pair of these. Beaver County, Utah. Lace up for adventure.
The Utah Farm Bureau began as a collection of farmers supporting each other to raise the food we enjoy. Today, Farm Bureau membership encompasses everyone, whether ranchers, growers, or just everyday folks like you and me. Members enjoy discounts on items like vehicles and ATVs, or insurance that's very affordable. You don't have to be a farmer to join, and dues are small, but together we make a big difference in keeping our food supply local and abundant. Join Utah Farm Bureau.
Hey, here's the question of the day for you. You got a young family growing up and you want to grow them up in the outdoors? I've got your answer. It's the Escape 23-foot Bunkhouse by KZ. Bunkhouse because it has a lot of space for people to sleep inside. KZ has spent a lot of time developing a good insulation system in their hybrid wall manufacture. Now, in addition, it has a Alumitough roof system on its one-piece aluminum, which gives it great durability and it makes it leak-proof. They actually put nitrogen in the tires, which makes them run a lot cooler in the summer and gives them a durability that you may not find otherwise. Well, there's a lot to see on the inside for a value-priced trailer, and it's time that we go there. Come on. Okay, so I said this 23-footer sleeps 8, so your first instinct would say, gosh, it's got to be pretty crowded inside. But take a look. It actually has a lot of space. Part of it's due to this one gear-driven slide that sits on this side of the trailer. Mom and Dad have this front area for the master bed. You have a couch here that is a double fold-out, which slides down. Your dinette converts into 2 beds, and then spin around and take a look at the bunks behind you. KZ employs a one-piece laminate countertop on all their tables and countertops, which means that it is not susceptible to water creeping in and separating the lamination. In addition to that, they use all plywood construction on the sides, in the cabinets, underneath the counters, and they use a tongue and groove system, which means that they lock in so they can't warp and pop out. So you'll always have nice straight surfaces inside the KZ trailers. Like all the other KZ units we've looked at, it has an advanced entertainment system that has a Bluetooth and an NFC way to connect. It has indoor and outdoor speakers. Now, for a trailer of this size, they have put a lot of thought into what to do with the bathroom, particularly if you are traveling as a family. This unit has a tub across the back end of the bathroom that allows you to take a shower and to bathe the little kids. It's a great way to keep all that splashy water contained. Of course, if you're traveling with a big family, they got a big food requirement. No skimping on the refrigerator. This is a full-size RV fridge or freezer. They do have air conditioning, so those visits to the campground are comfortable. So let's do the math on this. You're traveling with a family of 8, you get a motel room, $75 a piece, that's $150 a night. Well, that's right about where a monthly payment's going to start on this unit, because they have them on sale right now for $22,500. So basically, for one night stay in a motel, your family can have 1 month on the road. Which would you rather have? I'm Chad Booth for this week's product review for Race City RV. We'll be back with more of At Your Leisure in just a minute.
Kawasaki Mule side-by-sides are some of the toughest machines around. Work hard or play hard. With the new Mule Pro MX, you don't have to choose. It's about having the right machine to fit the way you live. And it's about strength. The all-new Mule Pro MX, the strongest, because I said so.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
Meet the new leader in off-road utility, the completely reinvented Ranger XP 1000. It's got the most power, the largest towing capacity, the highest ground clearance, and the best comfort and storage. Introducing the all-new Polaris Ranger XP 1000, the hardest working, smoothest riding Ranger ever built.
Is your summer getting away from you? It's already August. Well, if you had an RV from Race City RV, there are so many wonderful state parks like Wasatch Mountain State Park that are only an hour, hour and a half from home. You could be making a midweek trip or even a weekend trip to get out with your family and get that little extra connections. Remember, your RV trips can come true with an RV from Race City RV, serving Utah since 1946.
We've already hit Little Yellowstone, and so now we're off to our second diminutive destination, Starvation Reservoir, aka Little Lake Powell, right off Highway 40 in downtown Duchesne.
It actually didn't come from us, it came from our visitors. Some visitors that frequent Lake Powell all the time. You know, we're closer than Lake Powell, so they started coming here and they said, wow, this is like Lake Powell. Things are a little different, but this reminds us so much of Lake Powell because of the water temperature. We've got some sand cliff formations. People like to jump off the cliffs and the clean, clear blue water.
I wonder how long it'll take Steve to fall off into paddleboard. I'm guessing 15 seconds.
From where we're at now, which is the main marina, you really can't see the whole reservoir at all. You're only seeing maybe a quarter of it. So if you take your boats around the hidden corners to the north, to the west, you're gonna find some sandy beaches that are away from campgrounds. So if you pull up on there with your boat, you're away from people. Got your own little beachfront. And then some cliff formations, you know, back toward the bridge to the west. Night Hollow Campground is a home base for anybody wanting to ride an ATV in the campground. So you can camp by the water, bring your ATV and boat, and do it all at the same time.
Are you ready to try your hand at paddleboard yoga?
I'm gonna do some paddleboard yoga, and no, I'm not ready to do paddleboard yoga.
Let's do this.
I did it. You will fall.
Oh, of course I'll fall.
No, that's what's funny.
All right, now arms outstretched like you're... yeah! Warrior 1! All right, Warrior 2. Hand on the back leg. Yes. Oh!
Don't look down. Whoa!
Yeah!
So they have like paddleboarding, kayaking, Steve falling off the paddleboard.
If I were to go out, let's say to the north side of the lake, there'd be nobody around. I could have perfect silence, and all I would hear is just my paddle hitting the water, if that was the experience I was going for. But then I could have a speedboat, and I could go blowing across the water and wakeboard and tube and do all that stuff too.
I just love everything about Starvation. I love to be here. I've been here a while, and I love it here.
Well, let's head off to our trailhead, brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC.
I'm Reese Stein, at your leisure, wondering when was the last time you came down to Jordan Park and the International Peace Gardens to celebrate the color and diversity that makes up our community. The International Peace Gardens stretch across 11 acres in the northwest corner of Jordan Park on a bend of the Jordan River. Conceived in 1939 but not built until after World War II, the gardens was dedicated in 1952 as a citizenship lesson in peace and understanding between nations.
Wanted to come and see what was at the International Peace Gardens. There's a lot of cool sculptures, a lot of different elements to the different countries that are laid out.
Thousands of people from all over visit the gardens, family groups and couples, and dog walkers. Yes, dogs are allowed. Enjoy the paved loop trail that connects the individual and unique gardens of 26 countries. The American Garden was first and is the largest, dominated by a towering sculpture by renowned Utah artist Avard Fairbanks. Dedicated in 1976, it's actually two Fairbanks sculptures, the female Peace on Earth in front and Our Hope for the Children on the side. But it's the Swiss garden and the nearly 50-foot high steel and plaster replica of the Matterhorn that anchors the park, all punctuated with fields of glorious red daylilies. Utah's Swiss population wanted to make a statement, and here they more than succeeded. The Norway garden stands quiet today. The 22-foot-tall Botha statue, a 1972 engraved version of an ancient obelisk, silently tells the story of Norway and its people. The 2-year-old Stabush, a historic farm storage shed, is locked up now, but it's open and busy one day each May when Utah's Norwegian community gathers en masse to celebrate the 17th of May, the anniversary of the signing of Norway's constitution in 1814. A brass band, dancing, and lots of food highlight the largest annual festival held in the Peace Gardens. Unique icons, such as the Eiffel Tower and the French Garden, bring an artistic and historic touch to many of the nations. In the stunning Garden of Mexico, a copy of the famous Olmec head sculpture and the Sunstone, an Aztec calendar, highlight the country's sophisticated pre-Columbian times. A pair of stylized lions guard the gate to the 1959 China Garden. The gate is flanked by a variety of flowers and the only active water feature in the entire grounds. A more modest gate with equally imposing lions marks the entrance to the Vietnam Garden. And a series of tile-topped stone walls dedicated in 1985 marks the extensive Korea exhibit, while the Russian Garden features a sculpture of 2 children playing cat's cradle, much to the delight of one of the many Jordan Park bushy-tailed squirrels. Bikes are okay in the garden, and Fred Sfar and his grandsons Max and Luca take in the Greek garden on their wanderings.
We just truck around looking for stuff, finding lots of beautiful country.
It's been really fun.
The boys pause at the Japanese garden to refine their artistic skills. Just 3 years after the end of World War II, a patron of Japanese art donated these 3 granite lanterns from his Tokyo garden. They're thought to be 300 years old. Japanese cherry trees flank the entire gate. The first 1,000 cherry trees were a gift from Japanese Boy Scouts in 1951, but unaware of American plant regulations, those trees had to be burned and were later replaced with domestic cherry trees. And kitted out in their Highland finery, Carleen and Tom Cosgrove head for the Scottish garland. At its zenith, the gardens boasted native plants and flowers from many lands, including Edelweiss from Switzerland, 30 types of Swedish lilacs, and thousands of Dutch tulips.
The flowers are gorgeous. It's international.
Restein at your leisure at the International Peace Gardens in Salt Lake City's Jordan Park.
The Polaris factory authorized clearance is here. Get the year's biggest deals on the world's best-selling off-road lineup. Chase adventure on a legendary sportsman. Get more done with a hard-working Ranger. Or attack the off-road with a high-performance RZR. Now's the time to buy with rebates up to $2,000 during the Polaris factory authorized clearance.
And we will see you next week on the county seat.
Kawasaki mule side-by-sides are some of the toughest machines around. Work hard or play hard. With the new Mule Pro MX, you don't have to choose. It's about having the right machine to fit the way you live. And it's about strength. The all-new Mule Pro MX, the strongest, because I said so.
So Corinne, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon before?
I haven't.
It's actually really cool. I mean, you get up on the edge and it's just massive. So I'm really interested to see how the little Grand Canyon compares to the big Grand Canyon, because I can't imagine it being grand without being grand, you know what I'm saying?
First time I ever saw it, I went, this is a little Grand Canyon. Simple as that. First time I'd ever seen it. That was my first thought. We called them Wrinkles Road because it kind of wrinkles around. It's at the very bottom of Duchesne County. It's flat and then just opens up into a great big canyon that I bet you more than probably 70% of Duchesne County's never seen it, I'll bet. And most of the people of Utah have never seen it. It goes from a little tiny river to just a great big expanse. It looks just like the Grand Canyon in some respects.
There it is.
Oh my gosh. That's
cool.
cool.
A pretty good view of it.
Who knew that was in Duchesne?
And it goes for a long ways. Let's get out and take a look.
How far do you think those cliffs go down?
It's got to be at least 1,000 feet. And when you think that the Grand Canyon is like a mile, yeah, you can see how this is a little Grand Canyon, but going right up on the edge, you know, it's a long way down. And you can see on a clear day, again, just like with Yellowstone, you can see for like 200 miles.
The Wrinkles Road, it really shows the diversity of our county, going from the high Uintas, the Yellowstone, to complete desert, complete isolation. I've been on that road for hours, never seen another vehicle. We welcome people to come and visit and see what kind of a special place it is.
All right, that's the end of the Littles. Right now, why don't you take a look at next week's show?
We're playing ATV soccer in 7 days and finding out whether or not there are more floppers in this sport than the real thing. I highly doubt it. Chad and Rhea are enjoying the Paiute Trail Jamboree, discovering what makes this event unique and why you need to hold on for dear life. From there, I'll be doing yoga in the water, incredibly gracefully with no falls whatsoever. It will be amazing. And you'll see it all next week.
Next week's show looks like so much fun. And if you want to know more about the Littles that we visited today, make sure to check our Facebook page.
Or you can go online and we'll have all the information there. Right now we have this week's giveaway winner. I got it actually. Let's check it out. All right guys, I'm here at Fish Lake. Found an AYL sticker on this truck. Let's check out the license plate number. Back here. W177ZH. You are the winner. Call us at 801-947-8888. Now let's find out what your prize is. You've won a Camp Chef stove. It's a Denali, a great way to cook in the outdoors. Call us this week and we'll ship it out to you.
Congratulations to our winner. Now let's check out our calendar of events.
First off, August 22nd through the 25th is the Beaver County Fair. They'll have a rodeo and demolition derby. You can find out more at beavercountyfair.com.
We want to give you advance notice of Stedman's Red, White, and Road motorcycle event. It's on September 14th and 15th in Torrey, Utah. They've been holding this event for almost a decade now, and you're invited to join for one of the most iconic rides in the West. Go to AYLTV.com for info.
We'd like to thank Duchesne County Tourism for showing us all of these great destinations today, and they're all within a half hour of downtown. It's
all in one county, Duchesne County, so make sure to come visit it.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. Remember, get out there and create your own adventures
at your leisure. Now let's check out our Ready?
Nailed it. Yeah! Don't fall. All right, well, we've got 2 more Littles.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
This interview.